You know, I've always loved that intro. It really gets you hyped up, especially as a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Hello, and welcome to the first ever video from the Blockers Bonus Stage channel. This is my secondary gaming channel for Let's Plays and all that other fun stuff. So the first game I'm ever going to do a Let's Play of, I've wanted to do this since I started the channel back in 2017, Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monster Coliseum. This is one of my all-time favorite games. It's my favorite PlayStation 2 game, and it's one of the few RPGs I've ever played. Yeah, I'm not big into RPGs, I'm not gonna lie. I'm much more into action shooter games and wrestling and fighting and all that stuff. So strategy RPGs are not really my bag, but hey. So this playthrough, I'm gonna be showing you. So this video here is going to be kind of a setup guide. I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to play and get through the game. I'm going to give you some strategies, the optimal elements to use, and pretty much everything in between. Everything you need to know to beat Capsule Monster Coliseum. Because this is a very difficult game, especially if you're new to RPGs, or I mean, in general, this game's actually pretty difficult for newcomers. It is not beginner-friendly whatsoever. But then again, neither the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games are. So let's get started. I'm going to go through first. Also, I love the second opening here. That's really good. Well, you start off very simply. Just wait for this to load. So first off, you start off entering a name. Now, interestingly, you can only name your save file once. So one thing interesting is you can only name your save file if you have... So one thing interesting is that with the naming of the save file, if you name another save file the same thing, you can't actually duel each other in two-player mode. So that was really weird. I'm going with Blocker, because this is Blocker's bonus stage. Now you get to choose Purchase Starter Kit or Build Custom. I choose Build Custom, but I'm doing the Purchase right here, just to show you the descriptions of each type.
Grandpa! Ah, I thought you would come, Yugi. What are you doing? I knew you wouldn't have prepared anything. You're always so impatient. I brought monsters that you can use in the tournament.
That's my grandpa.
Hold your horses. I never said I was giving you these for free. I'll exchange them for monster points.
Monster points?
You can earn monster points by winning during the tournament. Keep winning to get more and more.
Ah, I see.
Let me give you some tips. Monsters can be separated into light, dark, fire, water, earth, wood, wind, and thunder. In other words, each monster has a different attribute. And each attribute has a different advantage and disadvantage. I'll explain what they are, but if you don't think you can remember them, I suggest you take notes. Are you ready? Here they are. Light is strong against dark, and dark is strong against earth. Fire is strong against wood, and water is strong against fire. Earth is strong against thunder, and wood is strong against wind. Wind is strong against water, and thunder is strong against light. That's it. If you remember these relationships, it will increase your chances for victory.
So only having monsters of a single attribute is dangerous.
That's my grandson. You learn quickly. However, you should always take your opponent's attribute into account. That's another important point to remember. Well, the rest is up to you.
I understand.
So each attribute fits a playstyle better. So whichever describes how you prefer to play RPGs is the one you should pick. Light has good defense and special abilities, but is really weak when it comes to attack. So choose whichever works for you, really. Dark has great stats, but also very high in cost, so you can't swarm the field with him, so you have to be smarter with your plays. You can only bring out a couple in a duel, basically. Fire monsters tend to have very huge attack, but poor defense and poor health. Water is probably the most well-rounded attribute in the game. Definitely the best for newcomers and people trying to figure out how to play this game. Earth tends to have really good stats with attack and defense, but their movement and attack range is really low, so it can be harder to get up close. Wind has speed and really far range, so if you want to pull a fast one and take out symbols, but they have lower health. However, their defense is pretty strong if you level them up. Wood has weak attack, but they're the lowest cost monsters in the game, so you can swarm the field with them. And like water, they don't have huge strength, but are fairly balanced, and if you're new, they might be good for you. And finally, Thunder is all about attack, but with lower defense and health. However, there's one benefit compared to Fire. Thunder monsters can beat Light monsters, and Light monsters are the most common type in the game. 25% of all duels play them as their main symbol, while Earth, their weakness, only has about 3 opponents. So compare that to Fire, where wood monsters are used a ton, and water monsters that beat them are semi-common. Also, fun fact, Wood and Thunder are actually original for this game. Thunder encapsulates the, Thunder-type monsters, along with a good chunk of machines, which in real life tend to be light. Wood is all the insects except Killer Needle, and some plants. And exactly 1 warrior. As for me, I'm going to be choosing Wood for this playthrough. Why? Well, I was always impartial to insect monsters. Also, however you decide to set up your symbol here, it means nothing, so it's just purely decorative. I was always partial to insect monsters, plus Weevil's my favorite character. Also, for setting this up, put half into monster points, and the other half into action points. The bottom one is health, and you never have to worry about them attacking your symbol, because they just never do. The AI is not smart enough to go after your symbol unless you leave it as a sitting duck. So I chose Wood because I like insect monsters, but whatever works for you. When it comes to shopping, try to get monsters with good movement and good attack range than just super high attack, since getting to attack multiple times means a lot more than hitting hard. Plus there's patterns, straight, diagonal, and stepping stone where you can move one space in any direction. Avoid stepping stone if possible. Diagonal movement can be good, but straight is the best. For attack ranges, try to get monsters with 2 or 3 if you can, since it's easier to line up. The least optimal attack range is diagonal movement with diagonal attack, or stepping stone attack. It takes a lot more pre-planning to line up attacks with those monsters. Well, anyway, this concludes the first part of Yugioh Capsule Monster Coliseum. Tune in next time where we face Joey Wheeler as our first opponent.